All right, everyone. I'm here with Cecilia. She's a member of our Pro Wholesaler VIP program. She's based in Franklin, Tennessee, next to Nashville, which is one of the hottest real estate markets in the country, as I'm sure many of you know. She's also a mother. She's a licensed realtor and a multiple business owner. So she's certainly a very busy gal, and I'm very grateful and excited to have you on today to share a little bit about your journey and experience here in the Pro Wholesaler program. How you doing, Cecilia?
I'm good, Ryan. How are you?
I'm doing great, doing great.
I'm
Thanks
glad.
for coming on today. So just excited to hear more about your story. So, to start, if you could just tell us kind of where you're at before joining the program, what your experience was, and I believe you had your real estate license before coming in, and we're looking to utilize it in different ways. So kind of where were you at before?
I actually, I come from a real estate family. My father's a massive, he just passed away a year ago, but he was a massive real estate investor and developer in Iran and then America. He moved to Texas in 1980 and became a really big investor and developer. He builds like neighborhoods and shopping centers and stuff. And so I didn't know much about it. I just answered the phone and did some stuff like that. But it's been in my family for a long time. And my mother was a realtor. And so I've always been around real estate, and I've moved a lot. And I just love real estate. I literally watch HGTV rehab shows all the time because I love them. And I also, look at houses just for fun, like all the time. And so as a business owner, I had some time, I had etched out some of my other businesses where I really only had to work 2 full days a week. And I thought, oh, you know what? I really would like to get my real estate license. And so I signed up for the class 2 years ago. In November, right around Thanksgiving. Right around this time, I was in my first real estate class, and then the pandemic hit, sort of right at the end of the class, and so I had like three months to study for the exam or something, 3 or 4 months to study. And I took the exam, I think in May of 2020, and I passed. And so I joined a realty company, and the more I learned and the more I was kind of poking around, like, what do I want to do with my license? The more wholesaling really just pulls me in that direction. And so I became a realtor, and then I was doing a lot of rentals through my company, just getting my feet wet in the, learning how to negotiate and a little bit about the real estate world. And then I came across your program, and I just it just felt right. Like I felt like this is the one that I need to go with. And I spent the money, and I was so afraid to do that, but I did. And then I got your course, and the material in there took me to a completely other level, from realtor to I can actually purchase and make offers on my own terms, like, and I do it under my LLC, but I can also buy it in my name if I want to. You gave me the tools to be able to do that. And then the support meetings really gave me the ability to manage, deals and the paperwork, and all of these tools that you've given us have given me the ability to make sound offers on properties that are taken seriously. And so I began to do that. And at first it was really scary. I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? How's this going to work out? But the more I do it, the easier it is. And now I make offers all the time. I mean, I'm constantly, my goal is 1 to 3 offers a day, or, I'm almost every day now I'm working on some wholesale project, or at least one. And so I tried and tried and tried, and I don't know, just like you all say, is that it's sometimes you have to stay focused. Like sometimes I could get distracted, like, oh, I'm going to run over here to commercial, or I'm going to run over, and try all these different avenues,
Yep.
but I keep coming back to the tools and the like the first distraction was getting off the MLS, right? Trying to do all these other things. Even though I'd been in the program, I was afraid to fall, to like just give it my all, because we try so many different things. But I kept coming back to the program. I kept coming back to the Tuesday and Thursday group, and it just I kept focusing in on it, and then closed my first deal. And it was so easy. It was an estate sale, which means that somebody had passed away, and one of the relatives had it and they put it up. And because I'm a realtor, my little shtick is I would lower my commission a little bit to try to help with the budget. And I did that, and I got the deal and I put it out in front of my buyers, and someone got it and they closed in 30 days, and it was easy peasy. And I went and picked up my check and got it. I used that check because it was in my LLC to get a business account. So now, whenever I get a check, it goes into my business account. And I just put properties out there right now. I'm learning a lot about short sales because I put an offer on a short sale and it got accepted, but short sales are a long process and can be complicated. So that has been an adventure, but hopefully on the other side of that, it'll close and that'll happen. And I just assigned another contract yesterday for a 10K profit. And
Excellent.
yeah, a few weeks ago, you all had suggested to me that I don't act as my own realtor. Like I act just like you tell me or teach us, is why don't you ask them to represent you? Then they make a little extra money, on commission, they can get maybe 4 or 5%. And so I was like, I'm going to try this. Right. So I would look up distressed properties on the MLS. I would call them and ask them if they would represent me. They would say yes. I said, this is the offer I'd like to make, because we have the paperwork you give us. I can, check off and make a good offer. I have my, my financial proof and all this stuff that I give them. And they worked with me, and then I got accepted, and they're insisting on paying all the closing costs, because normally the buyer for wholesale just pays all the closing costs, but they're insisting on paying so I was like promoting that to my buyers. And as a result of that one, I got a message yesterday from somebody saying, hey, we see you consistently sending out, these properties. And I'm fair. I don't gouge, I ask for a fair wholesale fee. I try to get a good deal on the property, a fair deal where the sellers of the property can make some money, and also my financial partners can also make a paycheck and feed their family, and then I get to make a paycheck as well. And so people notice that, and it's because of you all. It's given me the ground and the professionalism to be able to, work in this environment. And it's just amazing. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, thank you. And wow, I'm so excited to hear that. Closing a $10,000 assignment just yesterday. So
Yeah.
you're absolutely continuing to crush it. So that's so exciting.
Yeah.
And just wanted to unpack a few things you said, as a licensed realtor, going through the education, even though it's months and months of training, it doesn't prepare you to actually go out and invest in properties. Most realtors don't actually buy what they sell. And so, through our program, we help supplement that education and actually help people become that investor. So even as an agent, even if you're not an agent, you can still look at an opportunity and know what number works for an investor, depending if you're going to fix and flip it, if you're going to buy it as a rental, and especially if you're going to wholesale it. So it's really cool to hear you having gone through the process of getting your license, but then the program took you to that next level of being able to actually operate in the industry in such a different way. And I don't know, we've talked about this before, but compared to some of the commissions you were earning or have the potential to earn as a real estate agent versus some of the wholesale fees you're making, I mean, kind of what's the difference that you've been able to see, and some of the wholesale checks that you've seen versus potential commissions? Like, how do you weigh those two?
Wholesaling is a completely different ballgame than being a realtor. For me, in my experience, being a realtor is a lot about marketing myself, selling myself, trying to win people, influence people. Wholesaling is very numbers oriented. It's very to the point. I don't have to sell a thing. All I have to do is look at distressed properties, get in touch with the listing agent, analyze the property, make an offer, and back my offer up with financial, power that you teach us, and hopefully it goes through. So for me, I don't like, I helped a friend sell a house, but he had cancer, and and he didn't get a lot for his house, and it was out in the country, and I didn't even take a commission from that. But this just because I didn't feel right about it. But wholesaling gives me a paycheck. I mean, I became a realtor in May of 2020, and I joined your program, I think, August or September. So people know I'm a realtor, and I do help people sometimes, but wholesaling is where I want to be. Like, I love wholesaling, and I know, and that being a realtor gives me a little more confidence. But honestly, like, my mother lives in Florida. And so because I did this deal in Tennessee, literally in Nashville, like another suburb of Nashville, in Ashland City, and I used a realtor to do it. I didn't even do it. Because you suggested, you're like, hey, you should just try to use a realtor instead of doing it all yourself. And I was like, I'm going to take this suggestion. And they loved the idea. And now I just got $10,000 from that. And we closed 10 to 30. I say, and in my special stipulations, I ask for 10 to 30 day closing. I say I'm flexible to work with my financial partners, because some of them like to close really quickly. Some need the full 30 days. And so they like that too. And so that's just how that works. That's what I do. But now that I know that now that I'm working on using another realtor, now I'm sort of looking where my mother lives in Florida. And now I have more of the lingo, like you have, you teach us how to build relationships with other realtors. And now I get to just be literally a straight wholesaler, where having a license is nice and it's good. And it can offer some credibility sometimes, but it's not necessary, honestly. I think I'll always keep my license. I love being a realtor. And I think at some point, most of us become realtors, but it's not necessary. Your program gives us the tools to go out, to analyze properties, to distress properties, to figure out basically what it needs. And if we have any questions, all we have to do is go to the group or go on the Tuesday or Thursday call. And you guys are so generous with your time, and you are so patient, and just, you listen to all of us, learn and grow. And it's amazing. I'm so glad to be a part of you all. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that means a lot. Yeah, we definitely love, hearing about your successes and working with you every step of the way. It's just, it's my passion. And, Alex as well. We just love working with you and overcoming obstacles. We're professional problem solvers at the end of the day. So when we're helping sellers, when we're working with realtors, especially long distance, there's always things that come up. So, part of that community feel is that you can go attend these coaching calls, you can post in our community and get that support and not feel like you're going to be judged or like you have anything to hold back. It's a safe zone, as we like to say, where you can come with any question and, get a respectable response in a timely manner. So, kudos to you for leveraging it, because not everybody does. And like you have been showing up to a lot of the Q&A calls and asking questions and coming with your deals to be reviewed. I always love, looking at properties with you and, checking out things in your market because there's so much going on out there. And so kind of just on that thread, how has it been, being part of the community and the coaching calls, how have you been able to leverage those to, see success in your business?
I like watching other people as well, because I learn from, sometimes I get on the call and I just want to listen and watch and observe and see like what other people are struggling with or have questions or helping to analyze deals and things like that. So those calls really give me an opportunity to, once again, focus, on what is my purpose. My purpose is to find distressed properties on the MLS, analyze the property, see if it's a good fit for my financial buyers, and then proceed with making an offer. And those calls help me, because there are properties where you're like, I don't know, you just like this. Sometimes a price, it can go, sometimes on the MLS, they really gave a fair number. They really did put an allowance in there for the rehab and a little bit on the other side. And you think to yourself, I really almost could do a full price offer, but I wouldn't know that if I didn't have the sheets and learn how to do an ARV. Which is an after repair value, and learn how to, figure out the percentage of what my financial buyers want to make, and as a result of the professional atmosphere of your school, right? Then, I now have financial buyers messaging me, telling me, hey, we see you constantly putting decent deals out. We're looking for this. This is what we'd like. These are the areas we want. I had a lady call me yesterday, told me that. And I was like, okay. And I just write it all down, and try, hopefully, I can find something for her. I don't know. I hope I can.
Yeah.
But there's so much property available, even on slow days, like when I'm on every single day. Like today, I was following up with properties where they were a little resistant to sell, but it's been on the market another 4 weeks. So I've circled back around, and our properties I've made offers on, and just to check on them and see, if they're ready yet, because it's a lot of timing involved with, with that, because when somebody owns a home, it's an emotional thing, and to sell a home is an emotional thing. And then to ask for a price on that home is emotional. And then to get a realistic price on that home can be a little hard for them, the sellers sometimes to understand. And even though their agent is, had to list that property, they have to follow the lawful instructions of the seller. And sometimes those aren't realistic. And so timing is really important. Building those relationships with realtors is really important. Following up, and circling back around and, and seeing if they're ready yet. Are they ready yet? Do they are they listening like you teach us? Listen to the feedback of the market. If you shop something out and no one will touch it, it's too high, and you have to learn from that. And so that's just what I do. Thanks to you all.
Yeah, that's incredible. And it's really showing, in your local marketplace, when you have buyers reaching out to you, they notice what you're doing. They notice that you have great deals, and now they want a piece of the action. And so they're reaching out directly to you and saying, hey, Cecilia, send me some deals. Because they see what you're doing and, the noise you're making, and, people they can respect that, and they want to partner with you on deals. So, so I think it might be helpful. Maybe if you could tell us a little bit about like one of your deals, just, something that maybe you can kind of explain how it went, from, maybe like the timeline and kind of the, any challenges that you faced, and then, eventually the profit that you earned on it.
The estate sale, I just assigned my third contract. The estate sale was my easiest. They're my favorite now because they're just, to me, they're the easiest. And so I put in an offer. I filled out the sheet. I filled out the whole sheet. I came up with a number, presented the offer, and they accepted. And I was like, oh my God, they accepted my offer. Now what, and so now I have to write, like, you have the formal letters where you send emails out, and, the templates and all these things where I have a professional template to use to shop out to my financial partners. Now I have a product ready for my buyers. And so I have to set that part of it up, and then I send it out. And then I wait, and the market will talk, because I put out one to three offers almost every day. I try not to work on weekends. I try to be a pro that way too. Mm-hmm. And then the market will tell me, just like you say, the market will tell you if it's a good deal or not. And that one was great. I had multiple people contacting me back. And people wanted to go out and inspect the property, which was fine. But one guy, as they say, time is of the essence, and the guy was like, just forget it, I'll take it. And so I filled out the assignment contract and I sent it over to him, and he signed it, and, and I'm also flexible on the title company. Like, I just now I use the one they usually use around here, but I'm always flexible with that kind of stuff. They can close with whoever they want to. That doesn't matter to me. I want them to be happy. And so we just moved that around, and it wasn't a problem, and it closed within 30 days, and picked up my check. And I actually couldn't, it took me like, I think a week and a half to get my whole business account set up, because I had to do stuff with my LLC and do all this stuff. So, and then I deposited it. And the short sale was soon thereafter. That short sale got accepted in August, but short sales can be a little bit complicated. There's a lot of banks and people, and it's really technical, and I'm still learning. So that one, actually, because it was a short sale, I actually changed the contract because I wanted to assign that contract, but sometimes the banks, they don't really like all that fussiness inside of that.
Right.
So we all agreed. I spoke to the listing agent and everybody, and we all agreed that we would make my assignee the purchaser. So we changed the contract, but I kept my assignment letter. So he still has to pay me on or before closing, just like it says, my assignment fee. So that's just a matter of time when it closes. So I just have to wait for that process to happen. And then this one, this sale in Ashland City, I took your suggestion and I let the realtor, the listing agent, handle it for me as my agent. And I was like, this is so easy. They just send you forms and you just sign it. I don't have to fill out anything. Like, all I have to do is get the financial letter, and that's it. It's like, I could do this all day long. I'm going to try this in Florida. I'm going to see if I can do this in other cities. So so I have been exploring other cities to try to learn their market. But it's funny because I keep going into Florida to try the market, but I feel safer in the Nashville area now because I've made some deals here. Right, once I start making deals in other cities, I'll feel comfortable there too. But just like you say, start in your city, right? So
Totally.
that's, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have the advantage of knowing the area. You have some
Mhm.
relationships there. You're obviously licensed there, so there's a lot.
Mhm.
You have a lot going for you in your local
Yeah.
market. So it's
Yeah.
great that you've been able to get the ball rolling. You have
Mhm.
had some success now. Now you have a track record, and so when
Mhm.
you do decide to shift to another market, you can essentially replicate that same system.
Mhm.
And now you have experience with working with other agents, really acting more as the principal buyer,
Mhm.
the buyer on the contract, and now
Mhm.
leveraging other real estate professionals, other agents, and then you can build your team that way. So you can,
Mhm.
run the whole process, and you're still going to do very well, even when you're
Mhm.
letting the agent have their commissions.
Mhm.
It's a great strategy because there's plenty of agents out there, and they're looking for clients to work with, and that's
Mhm.
who we are essentially. We're acting as
Mhm.
one of their best clients,
Mhm.
because we're not making decisions based on emotion. We're looking at just the numbers. And so we
Right.
can make quick decisions. We have no hassle offers.
Mhm.
We're offering cash for
Mhm.
the most part. And
Mhm.
so you can absolutely replicate this in
Mhm.
another market across state lines, as
Mhm.
myself and a lot of our other members are doing. And so I'm definitely excited to hear you going into your next market, and how that evolves as well. So with these three deals, overall, what's your combined profit looking like?
This one will be 10K. The last one was, I think, 8,500. And then the short sale will be I think like a $4,000 to $7,000 assignment fee, but I also get like 3% on 400,000 house, something like that. So I
Awesome.
yeah, it's pretty good deal. I'm
Excellent.
happy.
Yeah, way to
I'm
get
very
creative.
happy.
Yeah, way to get
Yeah.
creative with that short sale deal too. There's different ways you can structure wholesaling, and that's really a lot of what we talk about, is that wholesaling can mean different things to different people, and so there's different strategies on how to be a wholesaler and how to actually execute on these deals and on these projects. And
Mhm.
so the way that you structured that is a little bit different than what most people would think a wholesale transaction is. So it just
Mhm.
shows that, yes, there are creative ways to structure these deals, still get
Mhm.
compensated. Percentage of sale. There's the assignment
Mhm.
fee as well. So that
Mhm.
combination, sounds like you're doing well around 25,000, in
Yeah.
several months. So
Yes.
that's yeah, that's
In a
awesome.
few months. Yeah.
Yeah,
I paid for my class and then some. And not only that, I mean, this is a skill I have for the rest of my life. And I can almost live anywhere and just use this skill to earn income. And just, it's invaluable to me. I'm so grateful to you all for this, for being like on the level. And another thing about structuring deals is I've heard you all in the classes helping people come up with creative structural ideas. So, you guys teach us that. You guys offer these suggestions to us, and that's so nice of you. Thank you. I appreciate you all.
yeah. We appreciate you too as well, and your success is our success, as we like to say. So, we I dream about real estate. We talk about it all day long, and so it's just a passion that we have, and so it's just cool to enable people like yourself to be able to have that freedom, have that flexibility, and that certainty that you have this way of generating income through your laptop, through your cell phone, and really just through
Mhm.
leveraging technology. You're able to
Mhm.
complete real estate deals, and really
Yeah.
be your own boss in your own business. I know
Yeah.
you have multiple businesses, but this is just another
Mhm.
avenue that can
Yeah.
supplement. If your other business is kind of having a slow time, or something
Mhm.
like COVID happens, when
Yeah.
hey, we can work in this industry, which is an
Mhm.
essential industry. We're
Mhm.
we're providing housing, we're improving housing, we're
Mhm.
part of the whole value chain in acquiring distressed opportunities. So
Mhm.
we're able to plug and play, like you said, from anywhere in the country, from the comfort of our
Mhm.
homes, and still
Mhm.
make these deals happen, and
Mhm.
earn a very respectable income. And
Yeah.
it's really cool because I know you started having this traction, you kind of came back with a lot of energy, and, you had a little bit of downtime. You were busy with your other business and with life. And then you came back and, started showing up on the Q&A calls, and then all these deals happened within a pretty short amount of time. So I think that's also very exciting. Just shows like, hey, like you said earlier, if you stay focused, if you have a plan, you wake up every day with intention, and you set your KPIs, your key performance indicators. Hey, I'm going to send, one offer a day. I'm going to send 3 offers a day. And, it's not a complete day without it. Obviously, there's a little bit of flexibility there, but, that's ultimately what's going to lead to those results that you're seeing. So.
In my office, in the other room, I actually printed a ton of stuff that from 3.0. I have the picture of like the Neanderthal, and then the ape, and then the man. And I have the simple steps. I think it's, let me show. I have to show you.
Yeah, let's see it.
I literally taped it to my office wall to remind me when I'm sitting here working. Hold on. Let me see if I can switch my camera. Here's my contract. Here's the only 5 things that matter. Here's my transformation. Here's my why.
I love it. That's so cool.
Yeah, I literally have it to keep me focused, and to give me that inspiration to don't give up. Right? What do you call it? Getting stuck in the land of disappointment or something like that. I don't. It's. Yeah. So the valley of disappointment. I don't know what it was, but it really, listening to the whole program. It's like I'm in it. I'm in it, and you understand all the ups and downs, all the in the beginning. How daunting it can feel at first, and you have to make that first phone call, and you have to write that first offer and analyze the deal. How I remember how overwhelming that felt, and now I just do it all the time. But you're there with us the whole time, and it's amazing. And as a result of this, I'm new to this, but at some point, just like you say, because I'm offering fair prices, I ask a fair fee, and I leave something on the other side for my financial partners to have a paycheck. Eventually, real estate agents will call me, and be like, "Hey, I have this property," because I'm square, I'm doing this right. And so that makes me somebody who of value, to be able to perform, in this real estate world. And I'm so happy to be that person here in Nashville. Yeah,
totally. Absolutely. Yeah. And you're really taking, all the resources to heart. You're doing great business, and you're building a reputation. And when you treat people fairly and ethically, and you do the right thing, you make sure everyone walks away from a deal a winner, then that's how you get that repeat business. And as we do focus on the MLS, since 9 out of 10 properties in the US are brokered on the MLS on market. But as we like to say, on market leads to off market. So when you're networking with these agents, they're the ones who are doing lots of marketing every single day. They're talking to sellers, they're sending out all sorts of direct marketing to property owners. And when you're top of mind as the investor in your market that can make a deal, that can submit a no nonsense offer that you can perform on, they're going to think of you when they come across a seller that doesn't want to take their property to market. Maybe they don't have money to spend in repairs or staging, or they just don't want a bunch of random people going through their house. They just want to get it done, and maybe they have a short timeline, and you're the one who they're going to call, Cecilia, because you've performed, you've built that reputation, you do what you say you're going to do, and you're professional. It's Pro Wholesaler, you're a professional wholesaler, so you distinguish yourself from a lot of the others who are out there who are just going on YouTube and doing all these, watching all these videos and getting all these conflicting messages. And so it's just, if you stick to the plan, you stick to the program, you're able to see those results. So one of the
tried
things
those. Yeah, I've tried those. I've done all that. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so
Yeah,
one of the things that you did show was the evolution of pro wholesaler, evolution of a real estate investor. That chart that kind of
yeah,
ascends, as you mentioned, like the caveman turning into the professional. So,
right.
and we like to say that's the path that investors follow. You know, you start with wholesaling, you move to fix and flipping, and then you get into longer buy and hold rentals. So, on that note, you know, what's next for Cecilia?
Okay, so I am saving some money up, and there are some deals where I say, I know I could do that. I know I could flip this myself. I know that I've analyzed the deal. I know basically what it needs. I could make the money. All I need, and I have hard money lenders, also. So I have now people in my life that I'm building relationships with hard money lenders that you only need a certain amount down, and that's a whole other thing. But I'm building that relationship, and so that's a good thing there. And then that, or and then my dream past that is, I want to buy a condo or a little cabin in Gatlinburg, to be able to Tennessee, to be able to
Yeah.
rent out. And my daughter loves Gatlinburg. And I thought, man, if I could just buy a little something in Gatlinburg that we could rent out most of the time. And then, I could take my daughter and she could enjoy that for Thanksgiving or Christmas or something. Wouldn't that be great? And now I'm in a position to head in that direction. So I've already looked at distressed properties in Gatlinburg too, thinking about
Yeah, that's
buying.
an in-demand market. I hear, yeah, for
Yeah.
short-term rentals and just for second homes, vacation homes. So yeah, that's incredible. I think that's the
Mhm.
beautiful thing about real estate. It's something that we can actually use, and enjoy and increase the quality of our lives. So
Yeah.
it's that's one of the reasons I got into this business, not just as an investment, somewhere to grow my wealth and park my cash, but also to work in, and something that you can actually, use on a regular day-to-day basis. Everyone needs a roof over their head. And that's why, this business isn't going out of style. So it's just
Mhm.
more and more housing is going to be needed. More and more people want to have their own home. So it's
Mhm.
something that is just always going to be in demand. And so there's a little bit of safety net when you're
Yeah.
really putting all this energy, investing your time and effort and
Mhm.
resources into, building your real estate business. So
Mhm.
so that's very respectable. That's really cool. And no doubt you can use these processes. You can use everything that you've been learning and the things that you've been able to close these deals with to acquire a home for yourself, or a second home, or something you can list on Airbnb and short-term
Mhm.
rent out as well,
Yeah.
and use with your daughter for
Yeah.
those vacations. So it's really a beautiful thing. So thank you for sharing that.
Mhm.
So yeah, just kind of closing out. Again, respect your time, and this has really been such an awesome interview. For those out there maybe looking to get started, in real estate, and who might be on the fence about, joining the Pro Wholesaler VIP program, any parting words for them? Any words of wisdom from your experience?
Trust the people in this program. The Ryan and Alex know what they're doing. They're honest people. They really do walk with you from beginning until whenever, right? We're still here a year later. Um, and just know that if you are looking for a way to get more money and chunks of money, and wherever you want to go with that, build it, or just use that for forever. It is an invaluable skill. And this, I just got a message for someone who wants to buy duplexes or something. I don't even know, I have to check it.
You're in demand.
I don't even know who it is.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I just, these people are the real deal. This is not like a hokey, product that you're going to buy and they just drop you. I've bought products before and it's like, it just doesn't work for me, but this one works. And these people are here. They're committed to you. They're here every Tuesday and Thursday, and they stay on for the whole call. I've been here, whereas I've looked at my watch. I'm like, it's 3 o'clock. It's like, they're still here. It's 4 o'clock. They're still here. Like, it's incredible. They're very patient. They give you all the tools you need, and it's well worth your time, money, and investment to work with these people. So that's what I have to say.
Yeah, thank you for saying that, Cecilia. Yeah, we appreciate you, and really excited for the next chapter for you, and just to continue to work with you and see you blossom into the real estate investor that you're becoming. So it's been a pleasure to chat with you today, and really just be a part of your journey through and through. And so, as we like to say, this is really just the beginning. You know, it's day zero, and everything that you've learned up until today is going to prepare you for what's to come. So I do look forward to continuing to work together, and really appreciate your time today. It was a blast. So
thanks, Ryan.
Thanks so much, Cecilia.
Okay, take care.
All right.
Bye.
Chat soon.